What's going on? What's going on, family? Hope all is well with everyone. As always, thank you for stopping by and joining me today. Thank you for including me in your day, night, whatever part you're listening to this in. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for including me. I don't take that lightly at all. Welcome to another episode of It's Time to Heal podcast, where again we have everyday conversation for everyday people about everyday topics. All right. Going to get straight into it today. Topic for today. It is a tough one. All right. We have a stigma around this one. Actually, kind of negative stigma around it, but it's basically dealing with accountability, self-accountability. All right. It's embracing self-accountability. Right. We all know, basically self-accountability is looking in that mirror, which we all hate to do. It's tough to stare in that mirror and look at the honest, true person who's looking back sometimes. Sometimes we may not like everything we see looking back at us, but it's needed. All right, it's needed to get better. It's needed to grow, which is something that we all should be doing until the day we die, until there's no more breath left in our lungs. We should all be striving to become a better us. And again, that's all that I'm about. Even my shirt says embrace growth, but that's all, that I'm about. That's all this this podcast exists for, is to help growth. So we're going to dive into that a little bit today. Again, accountability, with self-accountability, how to embrace it. All right. So self-accountability is a cornerstone of personal growth. It's about taking ownership of our actions, choices, and outcomes rather than placing the blame on external factors. And sometimes we can even do that without purposely doing that, right? We've all been in those situations, and, we can always see with open eyes what the external factors did, or how the external factors played into how we ended up in a scenario. And sometimes that can be genuinely the issue, not taking anything wrong with or taking anything away from, external factors existing, right? External factors impact our overall existence. I'm not taking anything away from that. But there are those times, and even in those times when it is true, external factor cause us to be where we are, it's still important in those times to look back and analyze ourselves and take accountability for the good or the bad that we may have played in that. Self-accountability is not just about, the bad. It's, just holding yourself accountable to a standard, whether it's right and wrong, or whether it's, how you think you should be living. It's a number of different ways or different things that you can hold yourself accountable for, but it's just about, again, holding yourself accountable, whether good or bad, holding yourself accountable. And the only way to do that is, again, look back at us, even in situations where external factors may have played a role in how we got here. We still need to look back at us and see what we could have done better, what we did do good, or, how we could have improved, or how we could have made this situation better, right? By embracing self-accountability, we empower ourselves to create positive change and and overcome obstacles on our journey towards success. Again, because we're all about us, right? Let me read that again. I kind of botched that. By embracing self-accountability, we empower ourselves to create positive change and overcome obstacles on our journey towards success, because that's ultimately what we should be about, right? Keeping our mind focused on moving forward, our family, our inner circle, always moving forward, always, trying to get better, trying to become better people, whether it's a better entrepreneur, right? You own a business, you're constantly trying to find a way to get better at your offerings or the product that you're offering or the service that you're offering. If you're an employee, if you're a manager, constantly trying to get better at managing and, handling your people and growing your department, things of that nature. We should always be trying to get better. If money is your thing, right? Trying to get better at making money, right? Holding yourself accountable plays a role in, how your money grows. Are you overspending? Are you, maximizing your efforts when you're out there? So, it's bunch of different ways that accountability can play a role in our life. So a lot of times when we hear that word, we go straight to the negative aspect of accountability. And when somebody's doing something bad or negative, that's when, accountability kind of comes in play. But no, there's many different ways accountability plays an aspect and can play an aspect in our life. Okay. So again, I just wanted to review or dive into, some of that. How can we hold ourselves accountable? What steps can we take to hold ourselves accountable? So a few steps, few things we can do, right? The first one is we can set goals. Again, this is more, well, it can be applied to all aspects of life, but again, set goals. So if you have an anger issue or you snap, whatever, right? You can set goals in your life, once we've gone through, I've identified the triggers and everything of that nature, I can set a goal to, okay, this week I'm not going to allow that trigger to make me do my normal reaction and fly off the hinges or get angry or whatever, right? As a short goal. And then as the week go on, analyze yourself. Okay, I messed up on Tuesday, but Thursday it happened again, and Friday it happened again, and I didn't, right? Hold yourself accountable for, your goals that you set. So you had a goal of not allowing it for a week, but you had a slip up. Okay, well, that's okay. We're human, we make a mistake. So keep that goal going. Try to go the next week, right? Then if you make that week, try to go another week, right? And see how long you go. Is setting up those goals and holding yourself accountable for hitting that goal. Because if you set the goal and you don't hit it and, you don't ever revisit in your mind or revisit in yourself, then what ultimately are you doing? You're just talking, right? So goal setting, right? Another thing you can do, honor your commitments, right? Whether it's work, whether it's relationship, whether it's being a parent, right? If you made a commitment to somebody or something, right, at the grand scheme of things, okay, you make a commitment to do, I don't know, friend needs you to do something for them, they're got something going on, and you commit to doing it, right? And it's, nothing big, nothing, life-changing or anything, just you made a commitment, right? And maybe the week before you had a long week at work, work hours, bust tail, whatever. Totally get it, right? That's understandable. But again, in the grand scheme of things, accountability, you made a commitment. So yeah, you're tired. You could easily, blow it off and, hey man, I'm tired. I can't make it. But you made a commitment. So holding yourself to fulfilling that commitment and honoring that commitment it's going to create a chain reaction, within you. It's going to create a habit. Things that we practice becomes habit, right? So in terms of accountability, you honor that commitment and you begin to hold yourself accountable for honoring your commitments when you do have them. Better you're going to get at accountability and, doing things that you say that you're going to do, right? And again, the only way is to revisit. If you say you're going to do something and you didn't do it, okay. You're human, right? We're allowed to have mistakes, but revisit that in your mind, all right? Keep that in your mind. Okay, next time I give my word on something that I'm going to do something, I'm going to make sure I do that, right? So revisiting, honoring your commitments is another way that you can improve in accountability. Third thing, and this is, I say this in pretty much every video, every podcast, every conversation that I have, it's reflect and learn. Take the time to reflect on your actions and outcomes regularly, not just one and done, right? Take the time to reflect on your actions and outcomes regularly. Identify areas for improvement, celebrate your success, and learn from your mistakes. Embrace a growth mindset that views challenges as opportunities for learning and development, right? Again, celebrate those success just as well as you celebrate the times when you, or not celebrate, but just as much focus as you pay on your successes or your victories and accountability. Take that time to reflect on those shortcomings, right? And use them to get better. Use them to grow, right? Number 4, another one. Hold yourself to high standards, right? Nothing is wrong with having high standards. Now, that opens up a whole nother, topic of, can standards be, I'm not going to say too high, but can we have some crazy, standards? And that's a whole nother topic. I'm not going there, but just on terms of accountability, hold yourself to high standards. Strive for excellence in everything you do, and hold yourself accountable to the high standards of integrity, ethics, and professionalism. Upholding these standards foster a sense of personal responsibility and builds credibility with others. Right? That's pretty much it. Hold yourself accountable. Set the standard, right? And hold yourself accountable for achieving that standard, just like I said earlier. Right? And the only way, again, to incorporate all of these is to reflect on those situations, reflect on those times when you do fall short, reflect on those times when you complete it. And all of those times will develop something within you that will hopefully allow you to push your standard higher and higher, and you'll get better and better at whatever it is that you're setting out to do. Right? And this is my favorite. I actually, again, say it every video. I crave this one. Seek feedback and support. Right? Surround yourself with mentors, peers, and accountability partners who provide honest feedback and support your growth journey. We hear it all the time in sports and on the sports shows. A lot of them say, a lot of these athletes around them have yes men around them. I mean, nobody is going to tell them the real. Like the guy, story just came out not too long ago, Kansas City Chief wide receiver, got into a car accident, speeding, doing crazy numbers in the car. If he had a accountability partner there or somebody to tell him, no, you might, don't do that, might not be in the situation, that he's in at the time of this podcast, So develop a support system. If it's something that you're struggling with, I know people have when they're trying to get in shape. They say it's good to have a partner doing it. Yes, so you can hold somebody accountable, because sometimes it is easy to struggle with self-accountability, especially if it's something that we don't really want to. Well, we may want to do it, but it hasn't become habit for us yet, right? It's good to have a support system around you, whether it's, reminders in your phone to do certain things, and, like you said, a mentor to hold you accountable. Yo, you said you were going to do these things. You said that, so let's do them. Like sometimes we all need that extra push just to, get over the hump, right? So seek the feedback, seek the support, or, develop a strong support system around you, right? And lastly, it's important to remember that practicing self-accountability is a continuous process. It's not just a one-time event, right? Just because you do it the first time correct, still need to practice it until you notice again. It becomes habit, and it becomes unconscious, and you don't have to think about it no more. We can all, even if you get it 2, 3, 4 times in a row, right? Still good over time to revisit, because you might slip back into a pattern that you were trying to overcome, and you didn't even know that you slipped back into it, unless you're constantly reevaluating yourself, right? It requires dedication, self-awareness, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. However, the rewards, increased confidence, resilience, and personal fulfillment far outweigh the challenges. And this is, again, something, if you watch my videos, I preach almost every video. I bring it back to, looking back over yourself, looking back and deciding, or looking back and, or developing a habit of reflecting, self-reflection, to make sure that you're constantly moving forward. Because, and some people, view it as, looking in the past, and that's not necessarily the case. Sometimes the way to move forward is to revisit what happened, so you can learn from that and not continue to do that. The only way to do that is to look back, right? It's not looking back to dwell on it, but again, if something happened and we're trying to change that action or behavior, and action similar to that which happened that started the chain continues to happen, then, sometimes you might need to look back at hey, this happened A, then this happened B, and this happened C, and all of those were in line with the same type of behavior, right? So that's kind of maybe sometimes that you need that to realize, okay, well, yeah, I'm doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, right? But the growth that you get from, being able to do that, the peace of mind that you get from knowing that you can look back and check yourself, it quiets a lot of internal noise, right? When you have that ability, when you develop that ability within yourself, it quiets a lot of internal frustration, right? So again, I encourage you all to embrace self-accountability as a guiding principle in your life. By taking ownership of your actions and choices, you unlock your full potential and pave a way for a better, more fulfilling future. So, again, as I always say every video, please, please, please give me some feedback. You know, whether you like it, whether you don't like it, you know, whether you got a different outlook or a different perspective on self-accountability. Would love to hear it. Would love to hear it. As always, like, subscribe so you can stay in tune with all my offerings and all my episodes that I have and drop. And we drop on a weekly basis. Try to go for the most part Wednesdays and Sundays. Yeah, again, thank you for stopping by and including me in your day. I humbly appreciate you, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Have a great one. Be blessed, family.